middle-aged women came in, red-faced from the hairdressers opposite, smelling of lacquer and grumbling about the wind messing their new hairdos. Imogen took money for a fine from one and assured the other that Catherine Cookson really hadn't written another book yet. "Authors have to write at their own pace, you know," said Miss Nugent reprovingly. Imogen watched the two women stopping to browse through the novels on the returned books trolley. Funny, she thought wistfully, how people tended to look there first rather than at the shelves, how a book that appeared to be going out a lot was more likely to be in demand. Just like Gloria. 3 boys had been asking for her already that day and had all looked sceptical on being told the shellfish story. But Imogen knew they'd all be back again asking for her next week. You learnt a lot about the locals working in a library. Only this morning, Mr. Barraclough, who, unknown to his wife, was having a walk out with the local nymphomaniac, had taken out a book called How to Live with a Bad Back. Then Mr. York, reputed to have the most untroubled marriage in Pikeley, had, with much puffing and blowing, rung in and asked Imogen to reserve Masters and Johnson on sexual inadequacy. And after lunch, Mrs. Bottomley, one of her father's newest parish workers, and due to do the flowers for the first time in church next week, had crept in and surreptitiously chosen 4 books on flower arrangement. "Vivian Lee's going well," said Miss Nugent, "and you'd better put David Niven aside for repair before he falls to pieces. When you've shelved that lot, you can push off. It's nearly 4 o'clock. But next minute, Imogen had been accosted by a dotty old woman with darn stockings, asking if they had any dustbin bags, which led to a long explanation about how the old woman's dog had been put down, and she wanted to throw its basket and rubber toys away as soon as possible. "The dustmen don't come till Wednesday, and I'll be reminded of him every time I see them in dustbin." Imogen's eyes brimmed with tears. "Oh, I'm so sorry," she said. After devoting 5 minutes to the old woman, she turned to 2 small boys who came up to the desk looking very pink. "Any books about life?" asked the eldest. "Whose life?" said Imogen. "Biographies are over there." "You know, facts of life, babies and things," said the boy. His companions started to giggle. Imogen tried to hide a smile. "Well, the biology section's on the right," she said. "Don't be daft," snapped Miss Nugent. "Run along, you lads, and try the children's library next door, and hurry up and shelve those books, Imogen." She watched the girl pushing the squeaking trolley across the library. She was a nice girl, despite her timidity, and tried very hard. But she was so willing to listen to other people's problems. She always got behind with her own work. Imogen picked up a pile of alphabetically arranged books in her left hand, so high that she could only just see over them, and started to replace them in the shelves. The collected editions were landmarks, which made putting back easier. Sons and Lovers was replaced at the end of a milky green row of D.H. Lawrence. Return to Jalnar, slotted into the coral pink edition of Mazo de la Roche. Even working in a library for 2 years had not lessened her love of reading. There was a Frenchman's Creek. She stopped for a second, remembering the glamour of the Frenchman. If only a man like that would come into the library. But if he did, he'd be bound to fall in love with Gloria. A commotion at the issue desk woke her out of her reverie. A man with a moustache and a purple face, wearing a blazer, was agitatedly waving a copy of Molly Parkin's latest novel. "It's filth!" he roared. "Sheer filth! I just came in here to tell you I'm going to burn it." "Well, you'll have to pay for it then," said Miss Nugent. "A lot of other readers have requested it." "Filth! And written by a woman!" roared the man in the blazer. "Don't know how anyone dare publish it." Everyone in the library was listening now.